So this is the main gate to Mdina, and we were told by Martin that they filmed Count of Monte Cristo, is that?
That's it, that's what he
And
said.
what else was the other one he said?
Loads of stuff. Oh, there's a new Jurassic, was it?
Oh yeah, that was in Valletta, I think, isn't it? And this gateway, I think, has been in series 1 of Game of Thrones.
But obviously Martin is the leading authority in all things Maltese. We be careful what we say so we don't quote him wrong. No, thank you.
Thank you. You've got the horse and cart, yeah? So when we came this morning on the bus, it was a bit overcast, wasn't it? But seems to have picked up a bit now.
It's got that similar sort of feel that Rhodes has, hasn't it?
Yeah,
With big
definitely.
walls and everything.
Yeah.
It's nice down there.
Yeah, either way. This way?
It's nice in the shades.
Oh, I know. So we're not an authority on Mdina, so it's just a little walk through really to get a feel. It's a nice cafe.
Just getting the vibe, aren't we?
Yeah, just getting the vibe.
What does it feel like? What's it like?
Yeah.
You know, how do we feel? You know, what, is it somewhere we want to come again? Is it somewhere we'd recommend? Is it worth coming to? Is it worth coming out of season? I think definitely all those, although I can see in the summer it'd be very intensely hot to visit somewhere like this, but then we're not in the summer, we're doing an out of season gig, aren't we? And we're going to get nearly run over. Let's cushion a bit here. Let's car go past. I wasn't expecting traffic.
Well, I think you're only allowed if you live
Right.
in the Mdina, and I think it's supposed to be, there's no through traffic as such.
Okay. I'm with you now. Mm. You come to places like this and it does make you feel ashamed of what we've got in return back home. We've got all the technology now and all the money, and we built nothing a penny.
Oh.
I mean, you wouldn't get a horse and cart going from Milton Keynes, would you?
No.
What's now?
No, it's just to give you a bit of a feel, really, isn't it, of what it's all about?
Well, we flew from Bristol and we drove through Bristol City with the car to get to the car parking the first night. And that definitely had a feel about it. There's still some character in that city. So there are cities out there that still have imagination and a feel to them. But on the whole, I think the UK's falling behind. Oh, look at that up there. Look at that. Beautiful. I think the challenge we have in the UK, everything like this is owned by the National Trust and it's just kept as it is, it's not maintained. And they don't encourage people to visit them, and if they do, it's so expensive. And then the working parts of the cities tend to be getting very, very scruffy. I mean, that's like a lot of cities all over the world, admittedly. Mind you, we've got Oxford, we've got Cambridge, we've got Bath, so I shouldn't say too much. This is nice. Definitely worth a visit when it's nice and quiet.
Yeah, well, that's what they were saying, out of season. This is like shoulder season, March and April.
Or you'd have to come really first thing in the morning, wouldn't you?
Yeah, not so hot, and the streets are quieter. It's supposed to be very busy in July and August, and very hot.
Well, that's the very reason we've never done Pompeii, is it? When we've gone to Italy.
We were
thinking of going, and everyone says too hot, don't go.
We were there in August, weren't we, in Sorrento, and we didn't go because it was too hot.
Because of the heat.
Yeah, it was just too hot.
So I think with global warming now, March and October are the new months to go travelling. Got to avoid August because of the heat and the price of the school holidays, unfortunately.
Go
Yeah, okay.
We were talking to Martin about the little boats and the ferries, because he's a keen boatman himself. And we said it was confusing, those little, well, they're not gondolas, but they look like them. They call them ferries. And they're not ferries, but they do a ferry service, but British think a ferry is a big thing.
Because they say he gave the name in
Yeah.
Maltese, but he said there's no exact sort of
There's no
translation.
translation. It just meant a small
from- to
boat
get-
that you hop on, hop off
Yeah,
to get to A to
boat
B.
you stand on, is it? Stand into and get off, yeah.
There's no literal translation. So they put ferry and people think, what? But it's not gondola prices. It's literally €2. And I think, maybe, just maybe, yeah. I think just maybe, because they look like gondolas, people are expecting to get ripped off. Because there's a queue of over 100 people waiting for the ferry, and nobody was going on the little boats. He said the local people get the ferries free if they're in certain jobs.
Well, if they just live in Malta.
Live in Malta, was it?
Yeah,
Oh, there we
yeah.
are then. And maybe because the locals were standing there, the tourists thought this is the queue. But those little boats, little walk on, hop off, what did he call them? Small boats. Oh, he's going to get an angry at me now, I've forgotten it already. But worth a trip. This is nice walking along here.
Nice and cool, isn't it?
Nice they can grow their plants. Everything else dies in the winter because of the wet and the frost. I think, you know, we're lucky that we've come from the UK in the sense that we've got history. But I wonder what people think if they come from one of the newer countries that don't have old buildings like this. If you came from the States, or if you came from Australia, or a new country, what they think of all this. Because to be fair, look at that. That's got to knock you for six if you've never seen anything like that before. And what have we got in return, eh?
Which way now, do you think?
I don't think it really matters, does it? Come slightly out. Should we go up there?
Yeah.
You alright with this?
Yeah.
We're walking and talking, and we're just giving our gut feelings as we go along.
Down there?
Yeah, can it? if you're viewing this, give us your feedback. Pardon the echo. Do you prefer these muted silent walks, or do you prefer a running commentary? Because unless we know what you want, we don't know how to film what you want to see and how you want it filmed. I like to talk. Lemon likes to film. Let me know if you enjoy the commentary or not. Give us some comments, because that's the only way we know. Other than that, all you're going to hear is the birds cheeping above us. What's your gut feeling so far, Lemon?
It's lovely, isn't it? Really, really quiet. Because all we've seen is a few sort of guided tours.
Yeah, you can understand why people do guided tours, because it wasn't easy getting here by bus. But I don't like being herded around either. So there is a trade-off. The buses were good. What bus did we get? The 54?
52.
52 from Valletta.
Yeah, half an hour.
Half an hour.
But I think you've got to be very careful you don't get on the wrong one.
Oh, we nearly did.
Yeah.
In fact, we did, and we jumped off it.
We did, yeah.
I said, "Do you go to Mdina?" He said,
I
"Yes."
think the 56.
And he said, "Well, eventually."
Yeah.
We sat down and paid for it. And the woman said, "Well, it does go there on the way back.
Yeah.
You'd be on the bus an hour and a half." I said, "Oh, crikey!" So we jumped off it.
Yeah.
We got on the next one, but our ticket was still valid.
Yeah.
You only pay once.
Yeah, it's valid for 2 hours.
Yeah, so it didn't really matter what bus we were on.
No.
It was €250 each. I think you can get them even cheaper if you buy a card.
Yeah.
But being
We
as we're using the
didn't-
ferries and the buses, we didn't get a bus
We
card.
didn't know how much use we'd have out of it.
On the other thing, we're staying in Valletta, and a lot of people are asking us why we've targeted to stay in Valletta, because it's such a busy capital. Purely, not just because of the history and it's a nice place, but where a hotel is very, very near the big bus terminal, which means we can get a different bus every day to a different destination for lunch. That's cool. And also you can walk down to the harbour and get the ferry like we've done as well. So again, leading back to location, location, location. I think we've gone around the circle, haven't we?
Yeah.
Go back up that way.
Yeah. So that's out into Rabat then, with a look
Okay.
of it.
So when the castle walls finish, you go straight into Rabat, and we haven't really seen much of that yet, have we?
No, we haven't been into the little
We went to the
pub.
Crystal Martin took us to the Crystal Palace bar for the pasties, and then no, they're not called pasties, are they?
No.
Pastisses or something?
Yeah.
I apologise with my pronunciation yet again, but you know what I mean. I think all these things you've got to try. You're not going to do this at home, are you? And it's nice to say you've been. And it's nice to form your own opinion of what you think of these places. And nice to respect history. Oh. I think that's our cue to stop, don't you? We'll turn the camera off and stop for a cold drink, shall we?
Yeah,
Do you want to turn this off for me? Some beautiful buildings here. Oh, this place. You do feel you're somewhere special, don't you?